Hey, good morning, everybody. Um, I just tweeted out the link to see if anybody wants to join the conversation today. So I will hold off on getting into what I want to chat about today, just to kind of see. But I hope everyone's doing well. It seems to be back to school time of year. I know my wife, as a teacher, she's back to school right now. It seems like a lot of kids are returning. Don't know what it's like in your part of the country, but pretty tumultuous here with mask mandates and those types of things. So it's going to be an interesting school year, I think. But I'm happy to see that kids are getting back in the schools. But that's not what we're talking about today. Just kind of killing some time. I had somebody in. I think I lost them because I mentioned masks and whatnot. Sorry if that's the case. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know what the ruling is on that, but I have a few minutes before I have to get to my real job, even though I'm in the office because I work from my home, which is great. Most times. Yesterday, I got to get out of the house. Like you saw my tweet for Rack of the Day yesterday, was a video producer yesterday, which this is my third year doing it now for our event that we host in the fall. And we hire a production crew and they come in, they shoot everything, but I write the scripts and ask the questions and have that kind of fun. So it's interesting to be on that side of things. I have no clue what I'm doing with it, but it's a lot of fun. So it gives me just a good time to spend with the people that we're honoring from our foundation. So it's always a good time. So it's August 26th, and we are now almost 8 full months into Rack of the Day, which I still have to pinch myself that it's gone on as long and as well as it has. I still just think back to January thinking, how am I going to get out of the month? And I did, and it's because of the great community that's been built, whether it's the hobby community or people outside the hobby community. But it's been awesome to see. You've developed a lot of good relationships. I think that we've seen as a whole that we're all there for one another, and I think that Rack of the Day has helped bring to light just what actually is going on. It's truly is more than just cards and cardboard and autographs and memorabilia. It's about I saw this and I wanted you to have it. It's more than just profiting off of cards. I sell cards. I mean, it's if I don't need the card, but I purchased it in a break or something, then yeah, if I don't know somebody that needs it, then I definitely try to sell it, and that's okay because I can then go buy something that I want, or I can go buy something that somebody else wants. And, it's just, it's kind of like the life cycle, so, you got to spend money to make money, to buy racks for people, to buy stuff that you want. And it just happens that way. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about truly Rack of the Day, because I feel like some new people have gotten in over the last few weeks, and I've seen some people that I don't recognize either liking the tweets or retweeting them or sending me DMs with questions and with people that they want to suggest, and using terminology and language that I don't want associated with Rack of the Day. And so I really just want to kind of lay out right now here again the concept behind Rack of the Day, where it started, where it is, and hopefully where it's going. So what is Rack of the Day? It is a daily recognition post. Okay. It is a time for you as the individual to suggest or shout out somebody that has done something great for you. You've seen them do something great for somebody else. The preference is that it's not like, oh, they made this great trade with me, or they gave me this great deal on a card. That's fantastic. Like I love hearing that, because it is what it is. but I would prefer to hear like the last couple of ones that have come across in the last 2 days is, so and so reached out to me because I was having a horrible day. They wanted to check in on me, and it really just it lifted my spirits. Like those are the types of things that I like to see. I'm not saying that that's what it has to be, but those are what I like to see, and I truly believe that more people are doing that without receiving the recognition. Um, the reason that this is something that I put together is because in 2020 during the pandemic, I fell into kind of this depressive state, if you want to say. I couldn't get my bearings. I couldn't um, get into like a daily routine just because things were changing so often. But kind of the one constant that I found, and I fell back into it by accident, was the hobby. And I saw that people were doing these racks, giving stuff away and being kind to people. And I was like, gosh, that's right up my wheelhouse. I love this kind of stuff. And so I started like following certain individuals and kind of learning from them and asking questions and doing certain things, and created this because the other piece to it is that I personally do not receive recognition well. Whether it's in my professional life or my personal life, I do not accept it well. I don't know how to react when that happens. So, but I like to give recognition to people when it's due. When you do good things, I want to recognize that. When you go above and beyond, let's celebrate it, and it's those types of things. So that's why Rack of the Day was created. It's a time for you as the person to shout somebody out for any reason. I mean, any reason, truly. And then what happens is I'll tend to let it go for a long period of time or a short period of time. It really depends on what's been shared. Like if there's just something that nobody's going to top it, I will shut it down right then and there and call it a day with Rack of the Day, because we've already found our person. Doesn't mean that people can't still suggest people, because I mean, you can always shout people out. And then there are times where I might post something at 9:10 in the morning, and I don't get to it till 9:10 at night just because my day's gotten away from me. So there's like 12 hours. And then there's days where I feel like this has happened more recently where nothing's happening, like nobody's suggesting anything. And I'll be honest, it's kind of frustrating because I'm like, oh, are like people sick of me? Like, do they not want to do this anymore? Or is it people are busy and they just can't get to it? And I recognize in my head, it's like, come on, it takes like 30 seconds to put a tweet together. But really, in the essence of things, it takes a ton more time to think about like who you want, how to recognize them, and then follow along. I mean, it's a whole long process. So, I do understand. And that's where I'll come back and say that again at the end of this. I'm always looking for your feedback and suggestions on how to make Rack of the Day such a better process for everybody and a better thing for everybody. That I want to make sure that the people are getting what they want. So what Rack of the Day is not, it's not a giveaway. It's not a contest. There's no winner. Okay. Don't DM me and say, I deserve the Rack of the Day. You can't suggest yourself. I'm sorry, you just can't. It's self-gratification. It's not that. Don't say things like, I win everything, or I'm trying to get as many. Stop. Just stop. It's not a giveaway. It's not a contest. There's no winners involved. If you take that attitude, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not getting anything from me. Okay. Plain and simple. Now, I do have people that will DM me and say, I want to suggest this person, and they'll give me a reason. And a lot of times it's very valid. That there's not enough character limits, or they want to keep whatever it is private. And I get that. I understand. And we'll kind of work things out on the back end. And, I'll just tell you right now, like I've given Rack of the Days to people that have not been publicly recognized, just because it was compelling enough, and understanding enough for that to take place. But I don't want this to fall into a negative thing, and I feel like there are certain days where it's taken that. And I appreciate that I have a core group of people that back this thing up and understand what it is and where it's coming from. It truly is coming from a good place. Um, I have been fortunate enough to be able to do this. It's been costly. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not complaining about it either. I wouldn't do what I'm doing if I couldn't do it. Let me just put it that way. Okay. D Moose recently saw the post, made an extremely generous offer to me, for cards that he was selling, and I took him up on it. And I've yet to be able to go through the entire box. I think I'm doing it tomorrow. But basically what he supplied me, it almost guarantees like Rack of the Day continues for another year. And I know that it will, and I have plans in place to get it, to get some really cool stuff, because that's something that I was thinking about, is that the beginning of the year with Rack of the Day, there was some really, really cool things that were given away, like blaster boxes and packs and whatnot. But that's because I could find them. Now I can't find them in stores, and I don't take the time to do online shopping, and I'm not going to pay above what retail is from online sellers. That's just my personal preference. So, but I'm trying to figure some things out to get some of that type of product in house so that I can give it away for Rack of the Day. There might be some things coming in the next couple of weeks that I could potentially give away and give out. Giveaway is another term I don't like. So if you hear me say that, smack me. It's not a giveaway. It's not a giveaway. It's recognition. And that's the other thing too. Let me just say, so I want to make sure that people are receiving cool things. And I do recognize that lately, some of the racks have kind of been like people you've never heard of, but they're autos or they're patch cards. They're cool things. And, I hope that you get some enjoyment out of them. I hope that you sell them for $1, $2, whatever. It's free to you. It's not costing you anything. So I don't care what you do with it. It doesn't bother me one bit. It's your property at that time, so do what you want. But I do recognize that there needs to be an elevated level of what that rack is, because I want to make sure that it's not getting too boring. Where Rack of the Day is going. So I've been giving a lot of thought to this, and I had some really big plans for Rack of the Day for 2022. And the plan that I wanted to do, and it still may come to fruition, it might just take a little longer, is I actually wanted to turn Rack of the Day into its own nonprofit foundation. So let me expand on that a little bit. So I work in nonprofit, as many of you know. I work for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. We raise money all year to support research to find cures for these diseases. I also work with a lot of nonprofit foundations in the area that support us. So they give us grants that we're then able to use. That's what I wanted to turn Rack of the Day into, is that we would be able to give small grants to a select group of causes or individuals. I had an epiphany over the weekend or recently that right now is just not the right time to do that. The reason being is I still have a 3-year-old in the house. My wife is still working, obviously, and will continue to work, as will I. Um, I just don't have the bandwidth and the time right now, I think, to run something like that. Because as I was looking into it, I mean, it's more than just it's more than just me soliciting funds from other nonprofits or other individuals to benefit us. You know, I really wanted to make sure that I was doing it right, and I just don't think that I was putting the time and energy into it that it deserved right now to take it to that next level. I still want to take it to that level. I'm still working behind the scenes to make this thing into its own nonprofit. And just so that you all are aware, it's not something where like I would quit my day job, because I couldn't. All right, I just couldn't. I need a steady income, obviously, for my family, to live, and I wouldn't be able to do that by creating this foundation. So it would be a side gig, so to say, but there's a lot more that goes into it. So that's kind of like the next like big goal for Rack of the Day, but it is going to continue in 2022. I've taken feedback from people that I've received, and I'm going to do more theme days with it. So like around, you know, the holidays like Memorial Day, 4th of July, major events like the NFL draft, World Series, those types of things where there's just different things that can go on across the platform. The other piece to it also that I'm looking to do and is to create like one big monthly rack. And I cannot take credit for this. I saw this from another Twitter user. I believe the handle is La Kahuna Cards. Don't quote me on that. In fact, I want to make sure I'm giving proper credit to who I saw this tweet from. Yeah, Luke at La Kahuna Cards. Excuse me. Luke and I, we've communicated. Where is Luke at? Sorry, but anyway, his name is Luke. La Kahuna Cards. It's LACAJUN Cards. Is his Twitter handle, and he had a really cool idea of doing like a big monthly rack, like getting a group of people, as many as there are, and throw in like $5-10 and select somebody to receive like this huge rack. And I've seen it done a couple of different ways. As after I saw his tweet, people were saying, oh yeah, you know, I got Facebook groups that do that, or I got a group of people that does that. And some have done it where it's just like within that select group, and some have done it where it's external. I think I kind of want to go externally. Some have done it where they send that person the money, but then that person has to show what they purchased with it. So it's not just like, hey, we're giving you this money, you know, go do what you want with it. Like it's kind of, you know, this intrinsic thing of, you know, go buy yourself a PC card or something like that. And then I've seen it where, you know, the group has selected that person already and found the item, and they do it kind of like the racks that we all already do. So I'm looking to implement that in 2022, more theme days, guest rackers. I need to bring guest rackers back because I thought that was just a really great addition to this. So my goal is to have like 12 consistent guest rackers where they would do one day a month for 12 months. Like that's my ultimate goal. You know, and then just kind of evolving from there. I need to get back to writing in the blog. The tracking system that I had on the website, it became too much for me of uploading the pictures and formatting them. Like it just wasn't something that I had the time and bandwidth to do. So I need to find a different way to track these things online, because I think that is important, of keeping the lines of communication open and recognizing not only the folks that received the rack, but the folks that suggested the racks too. which is another thing that I need to bring back too. So I failed on this wholeheartedly, just because life happened and I couldn't, I don't know, I just couldn't keep up for whatever reason. There's really no excuse for it, but I need to bring back the monthly rack of those that suggested the individuals that received the racks. Like that was something very special to me too. So a lot of good things to come, a lot of good things still going on. Um, I want people to continue providing me feedback on Rack of the Day. Tell me what you would like to see. Tell me how you would like to participate. I am always open to these suggestions. This is just because I started this project doesn't mean that it's solely mine. I have given it to the hobby community, and I want you all to make what it is. I am obviously going to keep within certain constraints of this, but I want to be sure that I am still providing you with some things that you want to see. So I certainly appreciate anybody that is currently in the room. I see there's a few folks here, so welcome, thank you for joining, and anybody that watches this later on, thank you. Reach out to me on Twitter at eshecker. It's ESHECKER. Would love to just chat and hear what you have to say, but that's it, folks. So have a great day. Wherever you are in the country, stay safe, stay cool, because it seems to be hot everywhere right now. But just have a good day and keep an eye out for the Rack of the Day tweets. Thanks, everybody. Bye.